What is going on, everybody? I am going to give you 5 reasons why it's a good idea to own a leader bike in 2024. Now, I'm going to start off with one you're not going to agree with, but price. You're saying, what, B6? Price. They're $20,000 or in the neighborhood of $20,000. Yep, but if you look at it, ooh, almost an accident right there. If you look at it, if you factor in inflation, a modern leader bike is actually cheaper than it was 20 years ago. Still expensive, but you're at the top of the heap. You're getting an incredible machine. You're getting Ferrari, Lamborghini type performance for something that costs less than a Kia hamster mobile. Yeah, think about it that way, right? Let's see, number 4, we're gonna go with something that's not a lot of fun, and some of these will all tie in together. Number 4, we're gonna go with safety. They put enough babysitting aids on these things that they're safer than they've ever been. You have slide control, you have wheelie control, you have ABS and cornering, and just so many aids in these on these bikes nowadays that they are just safer than they've ever been. I would go number 3, we're gonna say, is the performance. This number 3/1, the performance, right? They keep making these lighter and faster, and even when this bike was stock at 458 pounds, it was the heaviest leader bike, stock leader bike out there, but it felt light. It felt like an older 600, and that's, part of that's just engineering magic, but it's incredible, and this is going to tie in with number 1 and number 2, the electronics. The electronics that make these bikes so easy to ride. What people for years have just been saying, they're widow makers, these bikes, and they'll kill you, and they're no fun, and you know what? In a few different ways, they were right. It did used to be tough, to ride one of these bikes. You did have to be careful, or you were going to loop out, and you did have to be careful, or you were going to low side because you didn't get enough traction to the rear tire. So that's a big part of electronics. Ties in to the performance, which ties in to the safety. Number one reason, and for people that haven't ridden one, and there's going to be a lot of people who just won't ride one of these because they used to be such a handful, and it was, you weren't having a good time because you always had to be careful. You were always covering the rear brake. You were always making sure you didn't give it too much. You don't have to worry about that anymore. Yes, still be careful. Still cover the rear brake. Still don't hammer out while you're leaned over. But bikes think so much nowadays that they help you out with all that. You don't have to worry like you used to. And they're not as uncomfortable as they used to be. They're not. Now you got ungodly speed, ungodly acceleration, and they're fun again. Cycle Cruiser, you're wrong. I like Cycle Cruiser. I like his videos. He's been around forever. And him, just like all the other talking heads, just agree with each other and say the same thing. They're no fun. It's too much. They're uncomfortable. This bike isn't that uncomfortable. I'm comfortable on it. You know, that doesn't mean everybody's gonna be. I'm comfortable on it. And you know what? They're more comfortable than they used to be. Because they hear everybody complaining. Right? And all together, after years of having a blistering power and no way to keep that under control, now in the year 2024, 2025, they're giving us a bike that's as fast as a Ferrari for $20,000. And you don't have to be a pro level rider. Now you should be experienced enough. You should work your way up and go from the smaller bikes to the bigger bikes, just for the joy of it, just for looking forward to that next biggest bike. I put my time in. That's why I have this leader bike now, and I have the skill level to ride it for sure. I have for quite a while now, but the whole package right now are incredible. And the people who don't try a new one and just keep thinking about the old days, they're gonna miss out. And then you know what's gonna happen? They're gonna stop making these. They're starting to stop already. Yamaha's not making the R1 except for in the US, and they're not gonna improve it. They're gonna give us these little twin cylinder bikes and shove them in to these frames and say, hey, here's a sport bike now, but take the sport out of it. There's no sport in it anymore. It looks like one, and it puts around like an MT-07. So I'm saying, if you have not ridden one of these in a while, go out and try one. It's worth it. You're going to be blown away. And you know what you're going to have? A fun time riding it. Alright. I'm out. I'm done ranting. And if you want to start recording your rides, that's the Insta360 One RS up there. And I got the Ace Pro on my helmet. I'll put a link in the description for those cameras. And I edit my videos using CapCut Pro. There are a ton of cool features on CapCut Pro, and it's worth the extra money if you're going to be making a lot of videos. Alright, I'm out. Peace.